Hi everyone, welcome back to Cardvoyant. I'm Kris and I'm your Cardvoyant, and I'm back here today with some new Jacob's Journal material. I have been doing these with a one card reading before, but I've decided to sort of switch it up, hopefully make shorter presentations, having the Jacob's Journal material today. And then tomorrow I will have for you a reading, just sort of a general reading, a hopefully helpful reading. And it'll be able to be a little bit longer. So instead of one card, it may be 2 or 3 cards. We'll see what my guides have to say about that. So by way of introduction, I'll just say first, welcome to any new subscribers. I hope that you find the Jacob's Journal material helpful. And Jacob, referred to as Jacob, is actually a group of guides that I feel like are spirit masters that began sort of channeling through me in the form of automatic writing a while ago. And so I started presenting it in this way because I felt like this was, I already had the channel. I felt like hopefully this is a way to get this material out. It's also available on my website, cardvoyant.com, where you can, as I said, book a reading if you would like, in the form of like Word documents so that you can take a look at them. You can print them out if you would like to. Sometimes, getting this sort of barrage of just me talking, it's hard to get the deeper meaning of the material. So it's there for you if you would like it, if you have a mind to print it out and look at it. So I will also say that sort of leading into these readings, one of the things that I've long been interested in is sort of earth energy. I've lived about 3 different sort of geographic, like distant geographic locations from each other. In my life, I grew up in San Jose and spent most of my life in Northern California. I'm here right now, but I also lived for a while in Utah and also lived in the South for a while. And it's interesting because it's very different energy in each place. And I've thought a lot about that. I wondered a lot about it. I've read about energy points and stuff like that in the Seth books, which I love. He mentions briefly this sort of earth energy and some of the places of these energy points. So I have thought about them. I've read a little bit about ley lines and things like that that I'm quite interested in. And in thinking about that, the first Jacob's Journal that I'll read today, and as well as the last, sort of touch on this idea, which was very helpful to me and sort of supportive in this feeling of, and some of you may know it, this feeling of somehow being energized by the land and connected to it in some ways. And sometimes you may feel it's just in passing through someplace, the energy shift or the way the energy sort of speaks to you, or sometimes even changes you. You'll see that in these entries, there's a lot of talk about energy and its various forms, what it means, and what it is really. So hopefully these entries will be helpful to you and will be interesting to you. This first entry is from May 28th. The others are from June 3rd and 4th. I went a little while between, receiving information. I do feel like it's me. Like if I want to receive it and I'm willing to, that they're sort of always there, ready. But I find I kind of have to be in the right state of mind. And sometimes, and maybe for you during this whole pandemic situation and lockdown, which I was saying today, that this is 3 months. Today is, for me, 3 months in lockdown, probably for a lot of you, depending on where in the world you are, maybe longer. So we'll go along, and maybe many of you experience this where you have days when everything's, fine. You're just sort of getting through and doing all the regular things. And then you have other days where something, the energy, the situation, whatever kind of hits you, and it just sort of knocks you down. So you have to kind of, regroup. And I find that I'm not in a frame of mind to do much when I'm in that state. So luckily, and hopefully for you too, been able to pull out of it after, you sort of wallow in it for a little while. But I do have a couple more entries that I'm going to, that I'll post within the next few days. So it's a lot of material to get through. And since I write it down, it takes a while to decipher and then put into a Word document and then record and present to you. So hopefully I'll get better at it and we'll have more of that. But until then, here are these 3 entries. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and hopefully these prove helpful to you. So with that, these edges of the earth shimmer and shine and fairly crackle with energy. Dispersed, broken from its main, it funnels and channels energy to shores. One lost, one found, and seeks and meets energy in fulfilling both. Exponentially broadening energetic horizons funneled from within and nourished from without. It is a field that surrounds, connects, and diffuses outward into the atmosphere and all things, thus nourishing and renewing and vitalizing both you and your earth. This energy, this earth energy, flows as a sheath through all the earth. Energy most aggressively, sometimes violently, in areas where great explosive diversity meets self in other forms, forcing the energy up and out and providing for you points of respite and energizing vitality. Here, creativity swells and blossoms, innovation flourishes, and all those within close proximity, those pulled to these areas, benefit in the most positive ways from this emergence of dynamic earth energy that is part and purpose and a necessary component of, and for the constant creation and constant management of, your planet. This energy is without end and ever available and expanding your solar system and universe and worlds without end. You are part of this building and hold within you, spread without you, always and constantly this central energy, the energy, unending energy of Source, which is the beginning and end, the ever always expanding, ever circular whole, and therefore reaching in all directions into infinity. Your narrow focus, your infinitely tiny yet incomprehensible vastness, comprehend but the smallest fraction of everything, the all that is. And yet your individuality, your individual selves, while part of the whole, also hold within them the same infinite possibilities and probabilities, unique to your unique beings, an inward self adding immeasurably to the great and loving expansion and expression, the knowledge and joy and love of Source, the everything, the all that is. So this next entry is from June 3rd. You are born into the world to find parts of yourself yet unexplored, not to lose the greater part of your being, which is the soul that now resides in and is part of your physical being and beingness. The physical world, your physical world, is an expression of the ever-expanding, great love that defines and drives forth the all that is, of which you are a part. This is a great gift to you and formed by you and all those, everyone and everything with whom you experience it. Choices are yours to make. Feelings and experiences are yours to be had. As an apple from a tree is nurtured to ripeness and ready for picking. Never, however, are you meant to become lost in the thicket. Your true inner selves, your joyous, creative, ever-living, ever-having lived selves, become lost and buried only when you deny them entrance to and a place within your frail, temporary, human, physical selves. The stain of such absence, or rather lack of recognition and acceptance, leaves a hollow and dangerous hole, a dark well within your combined beingness. This spot, this dark and lonely visage, provides fertile grounds for the growth of the most painful of human conditions: despair, directionlessness, anger, humiliation, violence, hate, fear, pain of all kinds, and inability to express the physical experience of the eternal soul that leads to lives left to grow in uneven and unbalanced ways. For without the benefit of soul perspective, man's, humankind's journey can indeed feel pointless, cruel, and unjust. And while it is not within the power of one human being and one soul, coupled even in the most balanced and expressive ways, to change the world, or indeed the trajectory of humanity, it is well within your ability as individual entities and as coupled and grouped families, communities, and societies to bring about change that provides a grounding and a base that is the foundation of the joy, happiness, and creative opportunity you expected upon entry into this physical world. Ever is the non-physical world in general, and your highest, brightest vibrational non-physical selves available for your benefit and the benefit of all others with whom you are most intimately joined, even as you do or don't, will or won't recognize that always and forever present juncture. Never are you left alone, and never is your world not filled to the brim, indeed to overflowing, with like-minded and like-inspired and knowing others, both in your physical reality and the non-physical reality in which we and countless others now reside, watching over you in joyous love and hope. Therefore, release yourself to the peace afforded by love that is immutable, ever-present, and ever-changing. Walk through your physical world and temporary physical lives as both observer and participant. Accept the never wavering support and love of the everlasting, loving, non-physical world, and push from that eternal space within, from that great source of love within you and provided to you by and from the all it is, and indeed, and of course, from your own eternal selves, into the world, unrelentingly, forcing this love, which is faith and empathy and joy and acceptance and hope, as light into every dark space of your planet. This is the greatest expression of yourselves. And as you become your best and deepest and truest selves, you quite automatically push and force this creative, loving, expansive, joyous energy into your world, taking yourselves and your planet and then all others to a higher, brighter, more loving, lighter, more joyous existence. And thus, you see, you fulfill your own purpose and the greatest purpose of any and all kinds of existence. as well as quite naturally, of course, the all that is. And this final entry that we'll have today is from the next day, June 4th. So I was on a roll. I had two good days in a row where I was able to do this. This is the gift and promise of always, the expansive, all-inclusive, ever-present, within which you and all consciousness dwell. Here, where all exists in the now, wherein we all find our home, energy is an ever-expansive, never-ending source of being. It pings and dashes through, between, and around all forces that are, and gives birth to all that which we all, know as life. Indeed, it is the basis and purpose of life. For this energy is the birth of and impetus behind all growth and expansion, which is your purpose, our purpose, and indeed the purpose of the all that is. For purpose is not a branch or arm or extension of consciousness. It is not something that is aspired to. It is, rather, the beingness of the all that is. All is purpose. We, you, all exist within purpose. This is difficult to address and understand when in the midst of an existence defined and focused within time and space. But in fact, purpose is, in your terms, a place wherein you dwell now and forever. All existence, consciousness, is driven by and through and within purpose to seek experience and a joyful expression of self, which always is expansion of self, and therefore all of which you are a part. You cannot thwart this intention nor stop this ever is process. This is love, constantly, permanently fulfilled. Taking part, as you are willingly, is your soul's, your very being's greatest expression of the purpose in which existence, consciousness, the all that is, rests. Taking part with joy and an individualized thrust toward experience, expression, and loving expansiveness increases growth and expression, and therefore purpose exponentially. We, in non-physically expressed consciousness, wield love and energy, which is an expression of that foundation of love, in ways that always seek to aid you. Aid you in your experience, your goals, your understanding, your vitality, your hope, your confidence, and your joy. We are here for and constantly in touch with you and all that exists in physical terms. In similar terms, the earth is here for you also. This loving and supportive and expressive playground is crossed and intersected with lines and furrows and explosive endpoints, imparting and offering seen, but more often unseen, rather merely felt, fuel supplies for your human selves and your eternal souls. Thus, you are supported and energized by both the physical and the non-physical worlds. You have, in your various and unlimited physical experiences, abounding in the ever-present now, taking on a meaningful and often trying, difficult, lonely task that enriches all. And yet we say and declare to you, you are never alone, never without support, if you will but ask and listen, feel, and trust the constant, never-ending, always present, and never diminishing source of strength and energy and support, provided by both the very physical in all its forms and non-physical worlds, benefiting immeasurably by all loving consciousnesses who walk by your side, joyously aiding in your commitment to joyous and loving expansion of self, which is also our joyous and loving expansion, as well as the joyous and loving expansion of the all that is, always and forever constant. So there you have it. Those are my 3 Jacob's Journal entries for today. I do have some more coming up, but I'll probably wait a few days to post those. Meanwhile, I'll have my reading for you tomorrow. We'll do a 1, 2, or 3 card reading. We'll see how it comes out, just on some general information. If you would like your own private reading, you can book that on my website, cardvoyant.com, where, as I mentioned, you'll also find this Jacob's material. So thank you for coming to this YouTube channel to view this material. I hope it's helpful to you. I feel like, the Jacob's Guides wouldn't be filtering this through me if it weren't beneficial. And hopefully it'll be beneficial to you. So until next time, I'll just say take care of yourself. Please take care of others, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.